Hello and welcome to the Code with Imran. Just and how we turn the complex coding concept into simple, practical, and real-world project. Here you learn the web development, programming, and the coding technologies by actually building things, not just watching tutorial. If you want to level up your skill set and become a confident developer, you are in the right place. If you're tired of watching random Laravel tutorials and still feeling confused, what do you have to do? Or if you want to truly understand the Laravel, not just copy and paste the code from the internet, and if your goal is to build the real world production grade Laravel application, and then this course is for you. In this Laravel complete course, we will go from very basic to the advanced concept without skipping the fundamental. Okay, so you learn how to build and how actually Laravel works behind the scene and how to write the code. Okay, so this is not a theory based course. You will build the CRUD system, authentication and authorization flow, the file upload, the REST API, real-time application, e-commerce features, and much more. Here's the complete roadmap of this course. Okay, within the module 1, I will explain the Laravel basics and the environment setups, and then 2 module artisans and the Laravel CLI. The module 3, I will explain the routing fundamentals, which is the most important when you want to build any real-world application. This is the pre-required things. Okay, with the 4th module, I'll explain the blind templating engines, and inside a 4th module, I'll explain the controllers and MVC frameworks. Like this is the framework systems called the model bio controller. Okay, and then 5th, I'll explain the database migrations and models. How does this work and how you can create your own system for creating those. After that, we'll explain the query builders and eloquent ORM. ORM means the object relational mapper. And then I'll explain within the next module, I'll explain the forms validations and file uploads. And then after that, I'll also explain the CRUD application, how you're going to build the CRUD application with the help of Laravel. The next module, I'll explain the database joins and relations. Okay, after that, we'll talk about the middle layer authentication and authorization. After that, I'll also talk about the sessions, cache and mailing. Okay, and then we'll talk about the component blade architectures, quiz, jobs, events, and observer. The real-time broadcasting and chat application. How can I build the chat application with the help of Laravel? We'll also talk about the service container and Laravel internal things. After that, I'll explain the localization and the console command. How can you create your own console command with the help of Laravel? After that, the REST API deployment. And then finally, we'll create a one real-world project. It might be the e-commerce project or any portfolio project. Okay, so after that, I have one disclaimer. Who this course is for? This course is designed for completely beginners and for developers who want to level up their experience and build professional Laravel application. All you need that basic PHP and willingness to learn. That's it. By the end of this course, you will learn and you will have a confidence for building any level of Laravel application. So open up your code editor and let's start the master journey with the Laravel. Hello and welcome to the Laravel complete course. This is the first module of that course. Okay, that module I will explain how to install this jump. After that, I'll also show you how to install the Visual Studio Code for doing the development. Okay, so for continue the development with this course, you have to have installed the full Visual Studio Code extension. Okay, so first one, the official Laravel extension. The why we need this. Okay, we need it for the 4 reasons. So number 1, it will provide you the blind template engine syntax highlighter. At the same time, I'll also give you the auto completion of your code, so in the blind template. Okay, after that, it also give you the auto route suggestion. That means it will give you the suggestion for doing the auto routes filling. Okay, so after all of that, it also give you the config suggestion. That means when you write something inside the configuration file, it also give you the suggestion for it. Okay, so this is okay. That's the link for. I can open the layout there. Okay, so this is the link for the extensions. Okay, so after that, we have the next extension. The next extension name is PHP Intelligence. Okay, what it does, so it also do the auto completing in methods. Okay, at the same time, it also do the class suggestion. That means it will give you the suggestion for class. Third, it will give you the smart documentation. Okay, that means when you hover over on the particular classes, that means it will give you the suggestion. It will give you the documentation for that classes. Okay, Now I also have a link for that extension as well, so you can simply install it, and or you can install with a two-way. Either you can install from there or you can install from your Visual Studio Code. Okay, so still I haven't shown you how to install the Visual Studio Code. Okay, so that's why, and I'm gonna do it right now. So okay, first of all I will install the Visual Studio Code, and then I'll show you how you can install the extension, that extension from the marketplaces as well. Okay, that we have a Laravel paint. This is the Laravel formatting, so that you can format the code as the prettier. Okay, the finally we have a PSP by Dimensions. Okay, what it does, so it will give you the some call option. That means it will unused import check. That means it will check your unused imported. Essentially also give you the some yeah, some information like how much you have uses, how many classes you have uses inside your project. Okay, the uses information as well. That means after that it will also give you the automatic doc block. That means it will give you the doc block the generation systems. Okay, after that it also gives the inlay parameter hint. That means when you pass a parameter from one class to the another, that means you can simply get the hint of parameter. And then finally you will get inline debugging. Okay, so after all of those we will install the Bayfast Laravel project. This is the fresh new Laravel project, and I will explain in details about all of those. Okay, how you can create the Laravel project. After that, how you can create two. Okay, so and then we'll explain the Laravel file infrastructure within that created project. That means you can not only create the project, you can also understand the what about the file infrastructure do, how you can understand all of those. Okay, so finally I will explain the most important architecture in programming called the MVC model view controller architectures. Okay, so okay, let's proceed with the first one, install the gems. Okay, before installing the gems I need to know what is gems. Okay, so gem is a local development environment that lets you run web application. That means gem is only used for the local development environment. That means you can run your PSP application inside your computer. Okay, when you want to run your when you want to run your application you need a server. Okay, so inside the documents for that server you have to purchase that. Okay, now when you are developing the product, at that moment you don't need to purchase the server. Okay, at that moment with the help of gems it will give you the four options. Okay, so it will give you the server. This is called the Apache server, and then it will give you the MySQL, or the MariaDB databases, and then PSP or Perl. Okay, why gem is required for Laravel development? Laravel is a framework and it's run around PSP application. Okay, so when you want to run the PSP application you need three things. Like, okay, first of all you have to install the PSP inside your systems, and then a web server for running your application. Third, you need a database. Okay, so only for those reasons we are using them. Okay, what gems solve for the Laravel developer? Okay, why you need to use the gems? Okay, after that, without gems you would need to install the PSP completely in a manual way. After that you have to configure the Apache or Nginx server, okay, for running your application. After that, install the MySQL separately or the MariaDB separately. Okay, after all of that you have to fix the environment variables and finally handle the version conflict. Okay, now you don't need to do anything if you are use the gem as like me. Okay, so let's head back to the official site of gems. Okay, simply open up the browser and type XAMPP. Okay, so I've simply searched the gems. Now it will open up. Okay, simply click on the first result. Okay, now it successfully landed to me on their official site of gems. Okay, so respect to your OS, simply install. Okay, I'm using Windows, that's why that's why I'll use that one. Okay, when you are using from Linux, obviously you'll install that one, or if you're using the Mac OS, obviously you'll install that one, specific one. Okay, so respect to your OS, please install. Okay, so when you successful, okay, I have already installed that, so I'm not gonna do it once again because it will take times. Okay, so after, so when you successfully install this, so let's head back to the your download folder. Okay, because I have installed the gem inside my download folder, that's why I have landed into that folder. That's it. After successfully install, to successfully download the XAMPP, so you need to install it. Okay, please simply click on right button on top of that XAMPP. Okay, now run as an administrator. When you run as an administrator, you'll simply prompt it to let's wait, just okay, you simply say yes. Okay, after the yes, so XAMPP is already installed within my system, that's why I'm never gonna do it once again. So what you'll do, simply click on an run as an administrator. After run as an administrator, you will simply prompt it a couple of things. You just simply press next, and also show you the path. We show you the folder path where you want to install your XAMPP. That's it. This is quite enough, nothing else. What you have to do, nothing without it. Okay, so everything will be stay the same. So after successfully install the XAMPP, I'll back to there. Okay, so all right, now we have successfully installed the XAMPP within our system. So now let's get started with the Visual Studio Codes. Okay, so now we need to install the Visual Studio Code for doing the coding. So, okay, so let's open up the browsers and let's start with Visual VS Code download. That's it. Now it will land it with the okay, so now you'll be landed to the official site of Visual Studio Code. Now, okay, based on your operating system, so you have to install the installer of the Visual Studio. Okay, if you are using OS of Windows, obviously you will install that one, or you use the Debian, Ubuntu, Red Hat, Fedora, so you will install those. I think that those installer of Visual Studio Code. On the other hand, if you're browsing from the Mac OS, obviously you'll install that one. Okay, with respect to the your OS, you'll install those. Okay, so I have already installed, that's why I'm never gonna do it once again because it will take time, so that's why I'm never gonna be waste your times. Okay, when you successfully install, you have to open your installer. Okay, so I have successfully installed, that's why. So this is the Visual Studio Code installation. That was the installer which I have installed from the Visual Studio Code. Okay, now you need to run it just like what you have run, like it's XAMPP. Okay, now click on the right buttons. Now you'll see the run as an administrator. When you will use the run as an administrator, now you'll be prompted to yes or no. When you click the yes, you will prompted to the simply click the next, and finally it will also download in your systems. Okay, this is so simple. After successfully install, I'll back to there. Okay, right now we have successfully installed the Visual Studio Code within our system. So now let's install all the record extension for the Visual Studio Code. Okay, let's open up our Visual Studio Code. So okay, after open up the Visual Studio Code, let's open the extension. Okay, this is the marketplace for the extension within that. So simply search one by one. First of all, I will start the official Laravel extension. Laravel official Laravel base extension. This is the one. Okay, by the way, that one is provided by Laravel official teams. Okay, so now install it. So I have already installed because it will take some, that's why I have did it. So simply when I will do the uninstall, and it also show me the install options. Then when I'll click install once again, then it will be installed again in my system. So okay, I'll just do it. Okay, so after install the Laravel official extension, we have a PSP IntelliPens. Okay, so now install the PSP IntelliPens. Okay, so again I have already installed within my system, so that's why it won't be take time. So, okay, so let's after installing the official Laravel extension, now install the PSP IntelliPens. After that, so install the formatter of Laravel or formatter of PSP. It's called the Laravel Paint. Okay, so Laravel Paint. Okay, this is the formatter, so it will help you to debug your code and also format the code of your Laravels. Okay, so this is so simple to install. So let's follow. So how do you have that with the Laravel official extension and the PSP IntelliPens. Okay, finally we have the most important one. It's called the PSP by DevSense. Okay, the DevSense one. You will install the PSP DevSense. It will install the PSP profiler and PSP IntelliPSP AI auto complete for PSP as well. So okay, so it will install the 3 within one when you install the PHP intelligence. Okay, so okay, sorry, PHP by absence. Okay, that ones that one. Okay, so I think I have successfully installed the PHP extension for it. Okay, that one. So okay, now we'll understand the feature of it. Okay, so for the Laravel official extension, when you will use within your systems, okay, it will give you the a couple of things. Okay, first of all, it will give you the black template engine highlighter. That means when you use the Laravel, obviously you'll use the one template that is called the blight template engine. When you will use the blight template engine, it will give you the highlighter for your text when you do the coding. Okay, after that it also give you the auto completion of code. Okay, when you do the blight templates is like when you're trying to write the for loop or for in loops within that, so it will give you the auto completion of that as well. Okay, after that it will the auto route suggestion when you do the writing inside the route.php file. So at that moment it will also give you what, it will also give you the route suggestions. Okay, what you have written inside your route. After all of that, it also give you the auto config suggestions. Okay, and now this is the link for the marketplace. Okay, after that you will install the PHP intelligence. Why we need to use this? Okay, it will give the auto completed methods. Okay, methods means the function. That means it will give you the auto completed suggestion for the function. After that it also give you not for the function, it also give you for the uh class as well. After that it also generate the smart documentation for your code. Okay, so now Laravel is as like a formatter of prettier. Okay, that means it will format your code. That's it. At the same time you can at the same time it also easy to debug. After all of that, so you'll install the PHP by DAppSense. Okay, when you'll install the PHP by DAppSense, or it will give you the it will also install the extra tool. Okay, with including the PHP by DAppSense, PHP, and the PHP profiler, and finally PHP AI completion. Okay, three. So what is the purpose of this? Okay, so the purpose of using this extension is unused import check. That means when you are importing something but which you are not using, that means this is considered as an unused import check. After that, it also give you the information about how many uh classes you are using inside that. At the same time also give you the information about the how many references you are using inside your classes, all of those. Okay, the final it also give you the automatic doc block. That means you can generate the documentation for the code through the doc block. Okay, when you simply like commenting like things. Okay, when you hover over that block, it will give you the exact documentation for this particular block of what you have written on top of this code. Okay, now and then we have the rest too. One is inline parameter hints. Okay, so it will give you the parameter hints, and finally also give you the inline debugging. Okay, now we have to understand, and we have successfully installed the all of those extension inside our Visual Studio Code. Okay, so now let's create our very first Laravel project. Okay, so now let's head back to the official side of the Laravel. So this is the installation guide. Within that, so you have to install the Laravel globally first. Okay, so let's simply copy it and open the cmd. Simply run what I have copied. Okay, let's enter. That's it. It will take quite a bit of time. Okay, let's wait and see. Okay, now it's already been installed within my system. That's why it's not going to take time, but in your case it might be take quite a bit of times. Okay, so simply close it. Now I want to install the my project inside the htdocs. Okay, so first of all you have to open up the XAMPPs. Inside the XAMPPs you'll see the one folder called the htdocs. Okay, inside htdocs you will create all your Laravel project. Okay, so within that, so I will open the cmd. To the cmd. Okay, so inside it, so simply copy it that Laravel new and example apps means the name of your applications. Okay, so I can simply copy that one. Okay, so simply enter. Okay, that's it. So okay, I'm go with none. That's it. So I'll use the pest for the Laravel framework testing. Okay, for the as the testing frameworks. Okay, so no, I don't need a coding assistant. Okay, so let's wait. Okay, so right now I'll go with MySQL because I have using, so I'm using them, so that's why it inside the them, so it has the default MySQL server, so that's why I'll go with MySQL. No, I don't need a migration because when you want to run it, when you go with yes, obviously you have to open up the gems and run the MySQL server. So I want to know I don't want to go with that. Okay, so for the simplicity, so I will simply use no. That's it. Now we have prompted to run the npm install and npm run will. Obviously, you will proceed with yes because we need to do. Okay, so now we have successfully installed the whole Laravel, very first project of Laravel. Okay, let's simply go. Okay, I need to move. Basically, what I have to do is okay, run the open up the terminal once again. So okay, so cmd. That's it. Inside that, I need to move to the my directory what I have created. Okay, so now I have created the example.app. Sorry, example apps. Okay, I need to move to the inside that directory. So how can I move? So simply press the cd. After that, I need to pass the exact name what I have created. Okay, example app. That's it. Sorry. So example app. Okay, inside it I will run the composer run dev. Now it will work. Sorry again typo. Now it will work. Let's wait and see. Okay, now it's running. Now it will open up in the browser. Okay, so now I can see this is the app URL and that one is a local. So, okay, so now it's run. So and we can also open up that one as well. Okay, okay, this is the Laravel with bit. When you will use the npm install and npm run build at that moment, so it also install with that one. Okay, that one is the Laravel project. Okay, so now I'm getting the error. Okay, don't worry. So okay, that one is the connection error. We have officially installed the Laravel. Okay, so this is the project of Laravel. That's it. So bye, have a nice day, see you soon. We are getting error because of we are not running the our MySQL server. So first of all, you need to open up the gems. After open up the gems, okay, simply run those. Okay, Apache server and the MySQL server. After that, you have to open up the admin. Okay, so I have to open up the already. I have opened up already admins. Okay, and then you need to create the one database. Okay, so you should be name anything whatever you want so of your database. So I have simply named my apps as my name, as like as my app's name. Okay, it's called the example app. That's absolutely fine. Okay, after creating that database, okay, let's open up your so that means open up your open up your project inside the Visual Studio. Okay, so after that, okay, let's open the .env file. Inside the .env, you have to change the name of this. Okay, database name what you have written inside the inside the MySQL server. Okay, inside the MySQL admin. Okay, when you successfully change this, so you have to run three commands. Okay, first of all, PSP artisan make migration. After that, okay, what should be the name of your migration? So okay, Laravel example app. Okay, after that, so simply migrate it. PSP artisan migrate. That's it. When it will successfully migrate, now you can run the server. So composer run dev. That's it. Okay, when the server is successfully run, you can easily run within a browser. How can I? So okay, so yes, in there, it's running inside the browser. Okay, let's wait. Boom. Now as you can see, the Laravel is finally running. Okay, so now we'll explain all the folder structure inside the Laravel apps. Okay, so this is the simplest screenshot we have taken from the internet. So okay, I'll explain in details how what each of those apps, purpose of those. Okay, how I can, okay, how all of those folders works inside the Laravel applications. Okay, so first of all, first the very first folder name is app directory. Okay, this is your main and your backend stuff. All the your backend stuff goes into app folder. Okay, this is bootstrap. Bootstrap is this starting folder of your, that means it will help you to start your server. Okay, when you run the composer roundup or piece partition serve, so first of all it will scan this folder and then it will run your server. Okay, this is the bootstrap your applications. Okay, and then this is the config, all the configuration files all goes into there. Okay, this is the f configuration file of your of your projects. Okay, after that it has a database folder. Okay, all the database configuration stuff will goes into there, like database migrations and the model, all goes into the database folder. Instead of this the public, okay, this is the asset folder they call the public. This is the global asset, where you will store everything inside the public folder. Okay, all of those is a compiled resource as well. So okay, and now we'll talk about the resources folder. So inside the resource folder you will put the images, js, css, sass, all of those assets, so all of those resources. Okay, all those at the same time you'll also create the all the blade template folder inside this. Okay, resources folder. Okay, this is for the ui related folder. After that we have a routes folder. Inside the route folder I will create everything about the everything related to the route will goes into the routes folder, and that we have a storage folder. Inside the storage you'll define the how to configure the storage for your application. All goes into there, this is storage folder. After that this is the testing related folder, and that was a vendor. As like when you have experience with the node, you can know the one folder called the node modules. Okay, this is as like as exactly as like a node module. Okay, inside this, that is now within this is called the banner. Okay, this is this is for the editor configuration. Okay, editor config, that is .env. This is the environment folder, sorry, environment file, and that one is env.example. That one is example. That means you can take the backup for the .env with the help of .env example. Okay, and those are the git related folder file. Those are git, and that one is completely dedicated for the artisans. Okay, and then there's a composers account as like as a package.json or package.log.json. Okay, this one is a repository. This one is a registry for the PHP dependencies. Okay, and that one is a node module, because we are using npm, because we are running our project inside with the help of byte as well. So that's why this is called the package.json, and that one is php init.example. Okay, but this one is no dependencies and readme file, and then that one is server. After that we have a webpack mix.js. Okay, now we have explained details about the folder structures of Laravel. All right, now we will talk about the MVC pattern. What does it mean and how does this work inside the Laravel? Okay, MVC means the model bio control architecture pattern. Okay, this is the pattern for designing your backend logics. Okay, the model, all the data model data will goes into there. Okay, the MM means the model data. That means what you will create your own logics of the related to the database logic. Okay, so simply like you can create the schema for the migration inside that model. After that you create the model, and you will paste the all database related stuff inside the model. Okay, and then control this, all the business logic will goes into there. Okay, that means it will the brain of this pattern. Okay, the control and decide how data is displayed. That means it will display that means it will control the how data should be displayed inside the UI. That one is called the view. Okay, I think it will represent the current model state. Okay, so now you can see the flow, the flows data by the get users and the flows data by the get user there. Okay, and then the controller initiates. After the initiate, it will render to the view. Okay, and then it will modifies to the model data, and then finally it will sets data by the setters and updates data by the setters and event handler. Okay, so